Oh, welcome there. I didn't see you. I'm just catching up on some of my reading. I'm trying to get through the holidays, and this time of year is always a struggle for me because of my secret shame. And I found this book written by a doctor, and I'm hoping it's going to help me get through this difficult time of year. Um, I've struggled with this for quite a while, and now that I've got a platform to talk about my shame, I thought I'd share it. Welcome back to the channel, Hosers. Today we're going to take a look at the Glock 48. This is my latest Glock purchase, and I'm going to give you my initial thoughts, insights, and just a quick review. I hate to say it, but this one is a hard pass for me. Living in Canada, it really doesn't suit anything that I would use it for. In the United States, where you have carry laws, this would be a great addition. But let's just go through some of the reasons why I don't like it. So just first and foremost, we'll go through some of the dimensions. I used just a cheap caliper here to give you some points of reference for dimensions. Specifically, I measured the mag well, and on this one, it's 1 inch, 1.02 inches, which is 26 millimeters. And just as we get into some of the other ones, I'll mention them, but it's about 2/10 of an inch thinner than the other Glocks, and about 3/10 of an inch thinner than my M&P with the mag, with the palm swell, and the 1911 with VZ grips. So right off the bat, you immediately notice how thin it is. And that's one of the things I do like about it, is just how small this gun really is. I mean, like, put it in perspective. Like, I don't have big hands, but as you can see, I cover most of it. While that's easy for carry, concealment, and, to wear on your person all day, in Canada, what you get is, and I'll use my left hand here so you could see, but you get a gun that has a very thin grip, narrow, short, and then on top of that, you get for me at least, a kind of awkward reach to the trigger. As you can see here, I have to bend my thumb, my trigger finger, to get to that trigger, and it makes it a little awkward to shoot. The one disappointment I have is that it didn't come with back straps. So if it had a bit of a back strap, just to add a little bit of, distance there, it might make that reach the trigger a little bit better. So that's one thing that I'm not liking. And as a consequence of that, when I fire and the gun recoils, I find that my fingers, I don't know, it just feels weird. It feels like it's rubbing the trigger guard. It's just a little bit annoying. The recoil isn't too bad. I'll roll some video footage in. It's very manageable. It's a single stack 10 round, so it's not too bad. It's very easy to handle if you were to use it for self-defense, but just for me as a target gun, I'm really not enjoying it that much. The other thing that plays into that is the fact that this trigger is the worst trigger by far I've ever felt on any gun, and that's including my Norenkos. It's very gritty, sloppy. I couldn't even measure. I've just got a cheap little Wheeler trigger gauge here, and it only goes up to 8 pounds, and consistently it was topping out at 8. I've got a little chart here, and I couldn't even get accurate readings just because the trigger is so hard to pull. I'm thinking it's well above 8 pounds. I bought one of these kits, the M Carbo kit. They say it's for Gen 5, and what it is it's got a little bit of sandpaper to sand the striker block and the trigger bar, and I believe the crucible or crucifix, whatever they call it, and then some lightened firing pin spin. So we'll see if this helps. But right out of the box, by far the absolute worst trigger I've ever handled. Hey you. Reset's not too bad, but it's just really gritty and it takes a lot of effort, and it, you know, in my opinion, it's pretty unacceptable for a gun. Maybe that's by design. Again, this is from the caveat of a Canadian shooter who's using this strictly for target shooting. Maybe that's by design for carry. You don't want a trigger that's too soft or too light when you're carrying this, either appendix or on you. So maybe that's, you know, designed into it, but for me, really do not like it. So just do a quick comparison here. So here's a Gen 5 Glock 17 MOS. You can see it's a little bit bigger on the slide and a little bit bigger in the grip down there. Gen 4 17, fake one. You know, pretty much same dimensions as the Gen 5. You've got a little bit of overhang there and a little bit of overhang there. Glock 19X. You could pause these to get a better look, but you know, the Glock 19X, the slide's a little bit shorter, but you still get that overhang as it shares the 17 frame. This is the M&P 2.0 9mm. It's got a threaded barrel that I added, so it sticks out a bit more, but as you can see, it still hangs a bit, and you got a little bit of overhang. This is what I was referring to as the palm swell in this. This is one of the large grips, so you can see it adds a little bit of girth. That's why it's a little bit thicker. This one measures in at 1.3. So 1.3 inches or 33 millimeters compared to 1.02. So you could see the difference, and I find that this fits my hand better and reduces the trigger, the distance to the trigger a lot better. And then just for comparison's sake, this is a 6-inch 1911 and 10 millimeter, and you could see the difference there. The grip is a little bit longer, but it is with these VZ grips, it is much thicker at 1.3. So that's just to give you a size comparison. Now, that being said, the gun, when you pick it up, it really does, like when I picked it up, I loved it. It just felt so small and manageable and fit my hand so nice. It just feels really just perfect package. But it's only when I started firing it that I realized that, you know, that grip is just not going to work for me, and the trigger is really bad. So again, guys, that's all I have to say about this for now. I fired about 150 rounds through it. Super reliable, super accurate for what it is. You know, I've only shot it at 10 meters, but it's been accurate for what you would expect for a Glock, and extremely reliable, not a single jam. And I fired 3 or 4 different types of ammunitions through it, including reloads. This one has the upgraded sights, and as you can see, it's been painted sniper gray, I believe, or some sort of Cerakote gray. I can't even recall. But I'm wondering, and maybe you guys can comment on that, I'm wondering, because I immediately had it painted, I'm wondering if the trigger is a consequence of the Cerakote on the inside of the frame and the trigger bar rubbing on it. Just as I said, it's just really gritty and sloppy, and I don't think it comes like that as none of my other Glocks did. Just really hard. So I'll give an update once I buff it. I've even got the polishing kit here, so we're going to do a polish, springs, and we'll see if that helps. But for now, I'll just roll in some video footage. But again, if you got your eyes on this pistol in Canada, I'd say skip it. Go with the 19. Get the the bigger grip and the much better trigger pull. And just I did do a little chart here. The average trigger pull I got on the 19X was 6.5 pounds, which is a little bit better than the 17 and a lot better than the 48. So just a quick video, boys and girls. If you have any questions, please let me know. I'll answer them in the comments, and I'll do a follow-up once I've got 1,000 rounds through it.